welcome to the show. It's been a while since I've done a live stream here, but I was talking with my trusty sidekick, Paige the Phenomenal One, about it, and we decided to do it again after we stumbled upon this gentleman's videos. Welcome to the show, Mr. Matt Pinnock, aka MyPrizeGarage.
Hey, fellas, happy to be here.
Explain to the folks what you do.
Right, so I've been running a YouTube channel called MyPrizeGarage for how long has it been? Like 10 months. Hasn't been that long? Jesus.
That's it. Wow, you new to the game. Wow, you new to the game.
Yeah, it hasn't been long. Like I started making shorts like at the end of July. So no, it's been like 9 months. I started making shorts at the end of July, and after a while I decided, you know what? I'm going to jump into some long-form videos. So the first one was about, I literally just told you, and like that one guy who got screwed out of winning because they never mentioned Ariana Grande's age on the show. That was not a good video. But, you know, over time I've gotten like, I've made more and more videos, and I think I've gotten, I think I've gotten them to a place that I'm happy with. So that's me.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, like the both of us were all been game show fans ever since we could remember, right?
I would say so.
Yeah.
And we're all about the same age. I think you said you were 22, Matt.
Yeah, I'm 20. You said you were 21.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, me and Danny, we're both 21.
I mean, you literally have 2001 in your username, don't you?
Yes.
Like there's not a whole lot of things that can mean.
And then a funny thing, I've had this channel for 8 years, and a good friend of mine, his name is Harry Loomis. He's a journalist now. And a couple of years for Christmas, I made him a DVD of like 5 Lingo episodes because he knew I collected them. And I'm like, hey, Merry Christmas, Harry. Here's your Lingo DVD. And he was like, well, thanks, man. You know what? I'm going to start my own YouTube channel and call it Game Show Fan 2002.
Oh, my God. Fantastic.
Shout out to Harry, by the way. He's probably not watching this. But, well, about 2 days ago, we found out some sad news that the great Jerry Springer passed away.
Yeah,
Jerry was mostly known for his,
Springer.
He started as a politician in Cincinnati, Ohio, but we all know him, of course, for hosting his self-titled talk show where he had on a lot of crazy people for about 27 years.
Was he on that long?
Yeah.
Yeah. That show lasted a while.
And it's still on in reruns. It's still on one of my local channels, but it's on at 3 a.m. So.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it was running on some channel here as well.
Not only that, but it's also you can catch it on Nosy, and I think I want to say it's on Pluto as well. I wouldn't be surprised.
They do. Yeah, I think they do baggage on Pluto. Not baggage. I've lost the plot already. We're 3 minutes into the live stream.
Me and Danny, we found this out a couple of days ago. We didn't know that Baggage had a YouTube channel.
It does, but it only has it's mostly clips and like only like 3 to 4 full episodes. I thought it was going to be a lot more, but not really.
I know. You guys familiar with John Boy Media?
No, I'm not. Explain to the folks what John Boy Media is.
Okay, so John Boy Media is like it started with this one guy, John Boy. He made like him and his friend. They did like a podcast about the Yankees. They did baseball breakdowns. And one of the things that they also did was they reacted to episodes of Baggage on YouTube. Hold on. Let me... Yeah, here's a whole playlist of them for your mind grapes.
There we are. Yeah, Baggage, that's one of the most... Well, back to the Jerry Springer Show a little bit. It started in 1991 as a traditional talk show, right? But it didn't get the whole fighting controversy format until about 2 years after, when I think it was a police officer and some Black Panther type of fella got into a fight on the set. And then at first they were all like, "Yo, we can't have this. We can't have this." No, don't fight on the show. But then Jerry realized that it would bring in ratings. So then gradually they started having more freaks on the show, and then they had that family Thanksgiving fight episode. There was a prostitutes versus pimps episode. That one sticks out. I think that episode is on Nosy. And then around the late, I'll say early 2010s, it was all baby mama drama, and then it became all the same. So I stopped paying attention at that point. But the 90s episodes are really funny.
I can't say I've watched a whole lot of Jerry Springer in my lifetime, just because you know it's like we were talking about before we went live. Like it's like it was on during the day, like while I was at school. So The Price is Right. Like it's not something I had a lot of chances to watch growing up anyway. I mean, like obviously, like you've got all these episodes on like streaming services and YouTube and whatnot. Like you can get your fill of quite a few shows nowadays, but
definitely,
just something I never got around to.
Yeah, but one of my all-time favorite shows, Baggage. I watched it all the time. I was like 12, 13 years old. Definitely way too young to watch that kind of show. It was on Game Show Network. One of my favorite things to do was during the round where it would be the mystery round where they would just show the 3 bags without telling you who they had. I would like to kind of predict which bag belongs to which person.
Yeah, I didn't watch. I don't think I really watched Baggage when it was on because my family's cable provider or cable package didn't have Game Show Network for a while, so I think I just I kind of missed the boat in that sense.
Yeah, I recorded a lot of them, and one of my favorite bags was this girl said she was abducted by aliens. Do we think that's
Great.
true?
Oh man, that's nothing. There was this one lady who said that like her best sex that she had was with a ghost.
Excuse me.
Oh, I think I've seen that one.
Hold on. I'm trying to find something. Game Show Network aired like a 15-second ad about like remembering Jerry Springer. And there is this absolutely fantastic screenshot of a guy saying, "Can I attach?" Okay. There was yeah, it was a guy who said he's wearing a bra right now, which is fantastic. He's living his best life.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Another one I'm trying to that I found was this girl opened the bag and said, "I'm obsessed with Maury Povich," and Jerry was not happy at all.
But on the flip side, there was a guy who said that he was a fan of the Jerry Springer show, and Jerry went by him and gave him a big hug.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, I mean, probably not the greatest move to be like, I'm a fan of the Jerry Springer show and have that be like a red flag when the host is Jerry Springer. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, rest in peace, Jerry, at the age of 79. Paige, what did you say? It was it cancer, wasn't it?
Pancreatic cancer, the same thing that got Alex Trebek.
Oh, you know what? I think I saw somebody say that despite having cancer, Jerry Springer died of the COVID vaccine, which, no.
Oh, come on.
Like, it's cancer. The COVID, the vaccines have nothing to do with that.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Like, talking about, like, turbo cancer, you're making stuff up.
Yeah, they'll do anything to push that. But yeah, rest in peace, Jerry. He's one of the people that I would have loved to meet. He did host the Price is Right live also for a little bit.
He did, yes.
Oh, did he?
Did he do anything else? Oh yeah, he also hosted the UK adaptation of one of our game shows, Greed, if you can believe that.
I also want to say he was the original host of America's Got Talent, if I'm correct.
Oh, what? You know, I think I saw something about that. Hold on. Yeah, would you look at that? He did host America's Got Talent. It looks like Regis was the first host.
Hmm. America's Got Talent.
When
Oh
did...
he did. Yeah, Regis did host the first season. Jerry Springer.
Okay,
hosted
yeah,
the second.
Springer did seasons 2 and 3, and then it was Nick Cannon. Circling back around to Price is Right Live, I saw like a review of it on Facebook that was like, I didn't even get called down to play. 0 out of 10. There are hundreds of people in the audience. You cannot possibly expect every single one of them to get to play.
Right. That's just crying over spilled milk. And I wonder if GSN will show any episodes of Baggage, because GSN hasn't shown any of that in a couple of years, although it is on the streaming services like Pluto, the Game Show Central, and on YouTube. But it would be nice if they showed a couple episodes.
Yeah, like I feel like you got to do that, because like they did do a Jeopardy marathon for Alex Trebek.
Yes, that's right. I remember that.
They did, yeah.
And like, I feel like if you're gonna air stuff saying, oh, remembering Jerry Springer, like, you may as well bring back Baggage, do a marathon for a bit.
Yeah.
Like that just feels like the right thing to do.
I think so. Well, back to Game Show Network, and speaking of Regis, one of the shows that GSN recently brought back, shocking everyone, was the original Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
They brought back Regis Millionaire.
Mm-hmm.
Starting right from the beginning in 1999, they even showed the episode with John Carpenter winning the $1 million, shocking everyone by calling his dad, saying, "Hey, Dad, I don't need your help. I just wanted to let you know."
I kind of love that. Like, the man's living his best life. He is.
Yeah, that was
flexing
the most
on the
savage
haters.
moment. That was the most savage moment ever.
Yeah. So now, do you guys think that was a good choice for Game Show Network to show Millionaire again?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, I think that's always going to be a strong show for any lineup that you have for GSN. I just don't think it. I kind of like MU, Danny, where I don't think it matches with the current GSN lineup.
Not at all. It doesn't match with these America Says and People Puzzlers. And, well, Deal or No Deal matches with it a tiny bit, but all these other shows are bright and happy compared to Millionaire, which is dark and intense.
I mean, like, it's weird, because, like, GSN, obviously, like, they're way more focused on their originals than they used to be, so, like, you don't have reruns of, like, Jeopardy, Wheel of Fortune, what else? Why am I blanking? Weakest Link?
Super Passwords.
Cash Cab.
Well, they do have
all
those
sorts.
Cash Cab, but...
Like it's very much more focused on the originals, like their originals, than they used to be.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, it's fine, but like, they also do kind of start to feel the same after a while. Like, oh, you won the game, congratulations. Let's move on to the bonus round where you can win $10,000.
Oh yeah. Every game show on GSN now has like $10,000 as the top prize, and I think that could kind of change.
I think the lamest one though has got to be Get a Clue. Like $10,000 in the first season was being split 4 ways, and you still got to pay taxes on that.
My goodness.
Oh yeah, that is true.
Yeah, but I wonder if this is a signal, if something else is coming, like maybe in a couple months they're going to add another 1990s show to their lineup, because it was 1999. Now it's 2023. That's considered retro, if you can believe that now.
It is so weird thinking about like the 20th century. Like Match Game 73 premiered 50 years ago. Like that just doesn't feel right.
They should have a 50th anniversary marathon of that.
I mean, they already air their fair share of Match Game. Apparently for a while, GSN had 2 episodes of Match Game at 1 o'clock, and then Buzzer would air the same episodes at 2 o'clock.
That makes sense.
So it's like, great. I got to
I just
watch.
wish they would branch out and show, like, because GSN, they've been stuck in like 1976 through 78 for the last umpteen years. They should show like the 79s or the PMs or the syndicated, but well, beggars can't be choosers.
Come to think of it, I haven't seen Match Game PM on Game Show Network.
That hasn't been on in years.
Yeah, it hasn't been on in years, but that's also that's also because of syndication purposes, because syndicated property like that is also kind of harder to distribute.
Oh, yeah. Never thought of that.
I mean,
you also got to keep in mind, because Match Game PM was syndicated.
Yeah, the way they did Match Game PM at first was like really impractical. Like after a while they decided, let's do a week of the daytime show and then we do one nighttime show at the end. But before, they would have like 12 celebrities on hand and do 4 nighttime shows in one day with just like different stars each time. Like that's just not as nearly as practical.
I was reading about that in Gene Rayburn in the Matchless Gene Rayburn. That was insane.
Yeah, I read that as part of my research for the Match Game video, and I'm just like, really, there's a great solution right in front of you, and they found it, but it took a while. You know, I probably should.
Let's talk about the.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, let's talk about the new Split Second, because Mr. John Michael Higgins, he's hosted the beloved America Says for the last about 5 years, but now he's hosting another show, Split Second. And
my guy John Michael Higgins is out here with the biggest tablet in the universe, and I love it.
That's what I'm gonna show right now.
Yeah.
Hold on. How do I? There we go.
There it is.
Oh yeah.
The man.
Why the hell does he have that big of a tablet?
I mean, apparently because his eyesight is kind of shot on account of being 144 years old.
How old is he actually?
I want to say like early 60s.
I was going to say, I want to say he's in his 50s. He looks like he's.
Oh no, 60 on the dot. He turned 62 months ago.
Oh wow. Oh wow.
You know, I honestly really liked America Says because it feels like if Family Feud didn't hire Steve Harvey, I feel like
they should if when Steve Harvey leaves Feud, they should have John Michael Higgins.
I mean, I'd be down for John Michael Higgins to host Family Feud.
Yeah,
I don't know
honestly,
if
it would make sense.
I don't think it get the same ratings. Like, it doesn't make sense from like that perspective, but I wouldn't be opposed to it. Because like I'm just not.
That is going to be a tough act to follow.
Yeah, I'm just like I've noticed it's very much a personal thing, but I'm not the biggest fan of Harvey Feud just because like I don't like the overly sexual nature of a lot of the questions.
That's fair.
It gets tiring after a while. Like I don't hate Harvey Feud because I have to kind of respect it because it is the longest version of Feud somehow, some way. And also it is the show that proved that any show other than Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy can dominate in syndication. So
yeah, that's the thing. Like, I'm not going to knock it too much because it obviously works. Like, Harvey Feud is doing very well for itself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. I do agree with that. So like I do think that they could tone it down with a lot of the stuff, and I do think Harvey is kind of starting to get a little tiring of it because his responses aren't as what they used to be.
Oh god. Did you guys ever see that one woman who just kept saying mommy over and over and over?
Yes, that was
10 minutes of just saying the same answer, just pronouncing it slightly differently. I feel
another one of my favorites was
yeah.
God.
Nick and
I was
Grandma!
gonna say the guy that said name another word that means that one, but the other one that says name another word that means naked, and the guy's like, can I say naked? NEKKID. And then Steve's yelling at him, no, you can't say the same word. That's one of the.
Yeah. Name another word for color. Color, but I spell it O-U-R. I do find it kind of weird that, like, I think it was Noah Webster who was like, you know what? Let's get rid of some of these letters just so that American English can kind of stand out. The one thing though is, how would you guys spell the word canceled? Would you spell it with one or two L's?
Just one.
One. If you're saying cancel, it's one L. But if you're saying cancellation, then it's two L's.
Canceled.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I would always spell it with two L's. Apparently, that's a British spelling.
I think two.
Oh yeah, that is a British. That is a British.
Canceled with two L's is apparently British, and one L is American. So, like, whenever I'm writing something up in Google Docs and I spell canceled or canceling with two L's, they'll be like, "No, that's wrong. Spell it the American way."
Right. What about the family fortunes and the guy that said turkey 3 times? Have you ever seen that clip?
I have not. I haven't seen a lot of family fortunes clips now that I think about it. Like,
oh man, you gotta watch that. You gotta watch Turkey.
All right. One of you guys can like shoot me a link or something, and I'll take a look after this.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, coming up in the month of May, it's going to be a great month for game shows because you got the is that the Jeopardy Masters tournaments?
Jeopardy Master.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Like, my thing about Jeopardy is, like, they're leaning way too far into these tournaments. Like, Masters, that's going to be great, but then on top of that, during like the syndicated show, they're going to have the Tournament of Champions, but before that, they're going to have the Second Chance Tournament, and then before that, they're going to have the Champions Wildcard Tournament, where every single person who won a game of Jeopardy is going to come back and play again.
We'll see what happens. And then we also have Wheel of Fortune fan favorites coming the next week.
Isn't the
May 8th through 12th.
The wrestler guy who was just on going to be back?
I don't know about that, but I'm going to watch it for my good friend Christian Dixie, who was on back in March 2020. His episode aired like right as the COVID pandemic started.
Speaking of Christian Dixie, I think his next episode. It's not this week, but next Monday. Not this Monday coming up, but next Monday he's back on Wheel of Fortune.
Yes, it's the 8th. Yep.
So yeah, May 8th. Make sure you watch Christian Dixie win again on Wheel of Fortune.
Yes,
and I've here first, folks.
And Christian, I've played several online games of Wheel against him, hosted by other guys, and yeah, he's one of the best players I've ever seen.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And he's only a few months older than me.
Well, he's older. He's a few months older than me too.
That's like the weird thing. Like, as you start getting older and you see these guys like absolutely tearing it up, and you're like, wow, he is not that much older than me. Like now you're seeing like professional athletes that are around our age starting to make their debuts, and it's like, well then.
Yeah, so stay tuned for that. I think Christian's going to be playing against at least one of the people he's playing against is the girl that solved the "I've got a good feeling about this" puzzle with just one letter. But that was a long time
She
ago.
Sure did have a good feeling about it.
Yeah. And then we have the Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy crossover on May 10th, where Vanna White, Ken Jennings, and Mayim Bialik are all going to play against each other on Wheel.
Yeah. Oh, I saw some articles about that said this was Vanna's first time playing Wheel of Fortune. No, it's not.
Well, when was the first time?
She did. Alex
in 1997.
An April Fool's episode in 1997. Oh. It was
1997
Vanna for charity.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that'd be fun.
Like those kinds of articles, like, they do not do their research at all.
Hey, they're regular journalists. They're not like diehard game show fans like some of these people are.
Like there was one, I forget exactly what it was, but there was one article I saw that tried to pass off a Family Feud clip from like 2012 as something that had recently happened. Like, do 5 seconds of research, please.
Well, that's okay. Hey, let's do a little bit of a sponsor. Now on the great Redbubble site, you can get 20% off of anything. You can get, hey, Paige, show us some of your nice Redbubble merch that you got.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wait. Oh, you're talking about some of the stuff I got from your Redbubble?
Yeah.
Give me 1 second.
Okay.
Quality content that you can get off of Danny's Redbubble.
This is the Home Shopping Network now.
This is the Home Shopping Network. $9.99.99.
Which includes this Match Game book. 1 second. I know I gotta have the coasters in here somewhere. The coasters in here somewhere, but if that's not enough for you, and if you're a fan of the old Lock It In days, you can also get yourself a good quality Lock It In, the game show podcast notebook.
Yes, that's right.
Very nice.
And as coasters.
Oh, I know. And some quality Lock It In game show podcast coasters.
Oh, God. And this is one of my favorites. You can get a mouse pad of the 2004 to 2008 GSN logo.
You know, now that I don't know why, but it never occurred to me that that's a lowercase n in the GSN logo till now.
Yeah. Hey,
I have been on this planet for 20 years, and I never realized that was a lowercase n. I think it's the same in like the 7-Eleven logo, but we're getting off track here.
Yeah, so save 20% off on Redbubble now until May 2nd. That's only a few more days. So get the perfect gift for Mother's Day, that GSN mouse pad. Chuck, what do you got to say about that? That's a good idea.
My guy.
Okay. Well, one of the new game shows that's been on since late 2020 is the rebooted Weakest Link. Now, I've seen a lot of people say that they don't like it. Matt, where do you stand on the new Weakest Link?
I'm just like not the biggest fan of Weakest Link as a concept because like the fact that you can be doing really well, but then you get voted off anyway, for literally whatever reason. Like, that's kind of whack. Like, if you do too well, people want to vote you off because you're going to be strong competition in the final round. If you're doing badly, they're going to want to vote you out so that you guys can bank more money or whatever. So, like, you just have to be the most mediocre contestant on the stage to win.
Sometimes. Well, I noticed that usually in the final round, the two dumb players will... Well, the two players will vote out the person they think is the smartest, so that way they don't have to face them in the final round. Because
that bugs me, because like on most shows, the smartest person gets rewarded.
Yeah. And then you have these players, like I saw a celebrity episode back from the original version. It was Lisa Ann Walter and Beth Littleford. They didn't vote each other off at all and they were the last two players, and they were like, no man, no, this is the sisterhood. They clearly had a fucking alliance.
Like that's just messed up, man.
Yeah.
There was one episode where in the first round, the strongest link had to break a tie and choose who he wanted to kick off the show.
Oh yeah.
And he got rid of the beekeeper for the simple reason of I don't like bees.
Hey, that's how it goes.
Oh man.
Like it is not a fair show. And I'm also like not a huge fan of like the host's attitude towards the contestants, whether it be Jane Lynch or Anna Robinson or whoever. Because just like everybody on the stage is stupid and boring except me. Out of a possible $10,000, you banked a pathetic, miserable $9,900.
Yeah, that's how it feels. I'm like, hey, sometimes the amounts they bank are not bad compared to the others, and they still.
Well, I know, yeah, there are some really decent rounds.
And then you've got
it's like I can. It's also like I can understand it if they make a streak of like 8 correct answers.
Yeah, but that's really
always
hard
has
to do
to
every
be one
round.
to chicken and bank.
I would be that chicken. Sorry.
Yeah.
There was one weakest link answer we were talking about before we went live. It was like Graco Snuglock isn't a Harry Potter villain, but it's a part of what infant safety device, the contestant asked Jane to repeat the question and still said the stupidest thing you've ever heard, Lord of the Rings. The answer was car seat. You could not have been further off.
Yeah, he had that Lord of the Rings car seat, probably.
I don't.
Two of my favorites was. Well, two of my favorites. The one from this last Tuesday, as a matter of fact. The question was, who hosted I'm paraphrasing. Who hosted Hollywood Game Night? Was it Jane Lynch or Ellen DeGeneres? And Jane's asking the question herself, and this guy goes, Ellen DeGeneres, and Jane is like, no, it was me. Come on. Another one was, which candy bar is named after the galaxy we're living in? Right. The answer is Milky Way. But this lady said, this lady said the M&M galaxy. Hey, if we were living in the M&M's galaxy, I'd be 500 pounds because I love.
Did the entire galaxy get sponsored by M&M's? Did the aliens from 400 light years away sign off on this?
I think so. I feel like there's a lot more dumb answers on this current version than in the previous ones.
Well, I mean,
I feel like the dumb answers are more prominent on this version because the old version, it kind of had a keep things moving pace. Yeah, where this one I feel was a lot more free flowing in a lot of ways.
Yeah, and like the other thing too, I think that also might just be like a casting thing because I feel like a lot of shows don't necessarily want to have the absolute best contestants on the show. Like another thing we were talking about before we went live, lingo, with RuPaul.
Yeah.
Like if
some of these people don't know how to spell, like they're saying.
If you are capable of spelling, they don't want you on the show.
Yeah. But how do we feel about RuPaul lingo as a whole?
I'm gonna be honest. I haven't watched it because like I've heard some bad things about it. Like the only time I've even turned on CBS in the last couple of months was for like the Superfan special on The Price is Right.
Oh yeah.
And even then, that was just because JSAC was on. As soon as that was over, I chucked my TV into a river.
Yeah, I watched that episode as well. Yeah, when JSAC got called up and he's talking to Drew Carey, you can tell he was probably doing something in his pants at that time.
My God.
Hey, if you know JSAC and what kind of person he is, right? You can.
I do. I've worked with him quite a bit on Price is Right videos and whatnot. Honestly, I think if he won the show, he would have just passed out.
Yeah. Because it was a dream come true for him. It was well deserved.
My guy was on cloud 9. No, he was on like cloud 18 or 27.
Oh yeah. Shout out to JSAC. He's probably not gonna watch this, but yeah, good for him.
I'm gonna send this to him out of spite now.
Okay.
No, I'm not.
But I've sat through the RuPaul lingo a few times. I like it. It's not awesome, but it's all right. I mean, it's not as much as the old lingo with Chuck Woolery. It's not the same game. Of course, they eliminated the whole bingo aspect, but they have RuPaul saying, "Oh, we got the magic balls," or whatever the hell she said there. And, but it's still an entertaining game.
It's not a bad program. I don't think. I think there's a lot to be enjoyed with it, and I do think. Yeah. I do think for what it is, it's a nice, decent adaptation to lingo if you wanted to make it prime time.
Yeah. And
I feel like it's kind of a no-brainer to do lingo now since Wordle blew up recently.
Oh, definitely.
Oh, yeah. So, like, it was going to happen. The 2011 lingo, hot garbage.
Yeah.
Like, first of all, nobody knew how to play the game.
Yeah, I think those categories, sometimes they made it tougher. It did the opposite.
Yeah, you think about the 2011 lingo clues, and like you compare them to like Scrabble with Chuck Woolery. Like they had some good clues on Scrabble, not so much on 2011 lingo. and their money ladder in the bonus round. What was that about?
Yeah, they give you $100,000 for just all you got to do is solve 5 words, and they just give you $100,000. How about that one?
Yeah, I thought I thought that was a little too easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then you've got people who.
But then again, there weren't that many people who actually won the 100,000.
Oh no.
That's the thing. Like, I think that version also like went out of their way to find people who couldn't freaking spell.
Probably. Yeah, because GSN wanted to save money. They're like, okay, if we want to give away $100,000, we gotta find as many as dumb people as possible.
Like, I get it. Like, it's hard to think of words like when you're on national TV, but like, surely if you say a word that ends in S and you find out S isn't in the puzzle, you shouldn't spend the next, how long is bonus round? 90 seconds? You shouldn't spend the next 90 seconds saying more words that end with S.
Yeah, one of my favorite bits from that 2011 lingo was one time this guy was saying watch, WATCH, and then he went water, and then his friend started yelling, there's no A in the word. Stop saying A. And then Bill's over here like, I think he wants you to stop saying words with A in them.
Okay, next word. Wah! WAAAA.
Yeah, and I think that if they wanted to revitalize lingo for the 2020s, because we haven't seen it in years, they had to add some new additions. Because if you just do the same 2 rounds of 5-letter words and drawing lingo balls, that's not going to do the trick. They threw in those 6-letter rounds. I like that a lot, and they had that like 10-letter, 11-letter puzzle thing page. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, they had that.
Yeah,
I know they have that in like the UK lingo as well.
Yes, also in the Netherlands as well.
Oh yeah, I think I did see that in like Netherlands lingo.
Yes.
I
used to think that the Netherlands was where it started, but actually it started in the States, but the Netherlands just took it and ran with it.
Oh yeah, because we did have like some weird 1987 version, which I don't know if any copy of it exists.
Yeah. Yeah, I for the longest time, I feel like there's a lot of game shows that I didn't realize didn't originate in the U.S. Like, I think for the longest time, I thought Deal or No Deal was like a natively American show.
Oh no.
Like, I mean, what was the first country to just do the case game alone?
I think it was Holland. It was there was like Million Yacht.
Because the Netherlands, they had, because like Deal or No Deal was just the bonus round to like this big 1,000 player trivia game.
Really?
Yeah. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. I think it might be. I think it might be Italy. I think Italy might have been the first country to do Deal or No Deal, like standing alone. Like apparently they had it from 2003.
No, I think the Netherlands had it earlier. They had it in like 2000.
I was about to say, yeah, Dutch is the
Yeah, like that's where like the Deal or No Deal game originated. But I'm like trying to find like, because like in the Netherlands that was the bonus round to the game.
But I think they were also the ones to kind of started on like as kind of like a standalone.
Looks like the Netherlands started doing Deal or No Deal like on its own in 2006, like without the trivia stuff.
I was about to say in 2006, that means that there are a few versions that beat it, because here in the US it premiered in 2005.
Yeah, the US had it in 2005. Italy had it in 2003.
Premiered it because the UK beat the US because the UK did it in October.
And like October, yeah.
The UK is bringing back Deal or No Deal now, aren't they?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
I don't know
South
who's
Africa.
hosting it. It isn't. It's not going to be No Lemons, unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't think it's
Yeah,
going to
South-
be no.
Hold on, I'm falling down. I'm falling down a Deal or No Deal rabbit hole now, and that's just how it's going to be.
What about the Deal or No Deal in Australia? You got Andrew O'Keefe saying no deal.
The one clip I remember from Deal or No Deal Australia was that guy who knocked out like the 4 top value cases in order. Like that is painful.
Yeah, and you know they brought him back a couple years later, and he knocked out the 200,000 again on the first try.
Hey, who knows? Maybe he stepped under a ladder and just got infinity years of bad luck that way. No, I'm not. I'm not really a superstitious guy.
You're just a little stitious.
Yeah, I'm a little stitious. Yeah.
Any Office fans in the chat? Because that's what that is from, The Office with Michael Scott.
Oh, you know what? You know what that reminds me of? One time I was scrolling through the channels and I noticed that Freeform and Comedy Central were airing the same episodes of The Office, the same Office marathon at the same time.
Oh my gosh.
And the only reason I noticed was because on my cable provider, they were channel 49 and channel 50.
Yeah, I think it's the same for me as well.
Oh, not bad.
But also, if you have the streaming service Peacock, you can watch The Office Superfan episodes. It's like an extended cut, and it's like a whole new show. That's great.
I can't say I've watched The Office. It's something I've been meaning to watch. I just haven't yet.
Oh yeah, you definitely got to watch some episodes of The Office.
I mean, a lot of my time is getting taken up by game shows because, like.
But then again, if you're running a game show kind of content channel, yeah, that does take up a lot of your time. I do understand that.
That, and I also do like a gaming channel, so I'm also making Pokemon videos.
Oh, wow. Oh yeah, you have more than one YouTube. Yeah, don't you have like 5 different YouTube channels?
You round the block. You got a few channels.
Yeah, I actually made like a channel just to dump my garbage in because I was working on a game show facts video. You guys know the RNG exploit in Deal or No Deal for the DS?
Yeah.
Explain to the folks.
Okay, so the randomizer literally does not work. Every single time you boot up the game, every case is going to have the same amount of money every single time. The only way to get the randomizer to actually work is to play a second game without turning off your DS. But who's going to do that? Who's going to play 2 games of Deal or No Deal in a row? So all you have to do is memorize what case has the million and you'll win every time. So I actually went and broke the speedrun world record for Deal or No Deal.
Wow. You know what?
Stupidest.
Yeah. I discovered that like 10 years ago because, the DS game. And what I did was I went to my cousin's house for a sleepover. And then I'm like, oh, hey, guys, let's play Deal or No Deal. And then I started doing really well. They're like, oh, my God, Dan, how are you doing that? I'm like, hey, I guess I'm just that good.
I
memorized which case at which. And I made it. I wasn't super obvious. I just had it to like $1, $50, and then the 5 biggest amounts all left.
So you went and memorized like all of the top ones.
Just the top 7, and then I was like, okay, I won't be completely obvious because then if you get rid of the penny, if you do the penny $1, $5, then you'll know it's obvious that you're.
If you were knocking them out all in order, I think.
Yeah, come on.
I think we'd have to do a little bit of an investigation.
Yeah, standards and practices would be all over you.
10 game show cheaters caught live in 4K.
Oh man.
No, officer, I didn't do it. The guy was he had a cough.
Oh, he had a cough. So the guy who randomized the cases is in the audience. He's not supposed to be here.
Yeah.
Actually, I feel like coughing on Deal or No Deal would take like forever because like, I'm gonna pick case number 1 or well, there it goes.
Well, there goes Danny. Something must have had to have happened. But yeah, oh man, coughing on Deal or No Deal would be interesting because you couldn't do the Ingram strategy with Deal or No Deal. I don't think because
I mean, you could if you wanted the show to last like 400 years.
oh man, but
Welcome
at the
back to
same
the
time,
show.
oh man, at the same time, I feel like Howie Mandel would actually like lose his patience because there are many times that Howie Mandel actually admitted that there are many times that whenever a contestant turned down like a big life changing amount of money, there were times Howie wanted to strangle the person.
Oh, I believe it.
I mean, Regis Philbin also had those moments on Millionaire. There was one contestant who he said took 52 minutes to answer a single question, and she got it wrong.
They must have edited that down pretty good on the show. Then.
Yeah, I think in the end it wound up being like 7 minutes on the actual show.
Wow.
That's still a long time.
Uh.
But yeah, coughing on Deal or No Deal, like, could you imagine, like, counting to 26 every single time and waiting for a cough?
Yeah. Hey, let's see what the birthdays are today. Today's April 29th, so let's take a look at the famous birthdays for today.
Yeah, let's see, who do we got?
Okay, we have my namesake, actor Daniel Day-Lewis. He turned 66. Yeah, when I was a couple of times in high school, I'd say my name is Daniel Lewis. They're like, oh, like Daniel Day-Lewis? I'm like, no, I spell my name correctly. Because another thing, because people always make fun of me about the Louis versus Lewis, and it doesn't help that I live in fucking St. Louis, Missouri. So
I know, yeah, that does not help your case out that much.
Yeah, you know, we got David St. Dennis, and then we have Danny St. Louis.
Very nice.
Anyway, and okay, then we have actress Michelle Pfeiffer turns 65. Uma Thurman turns 53. Oh my goodness. And one of my favorites, Jerry Seinfeld, turns the big 69. And I'm not even joking about that. He turns 69. What's the deal?
Yeah, I've got the page open. He's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am looking on famous birthdays, and number 7 for today is 4 years old. That's great. I don't like that. What are you doing being an Instagram star at 4 years old?
Yeah, no.
Oh, Carney Wilson, who was one of the best game show hosts and reality shows on Carney Wilson.
Oh yeah, yeah. You got to watch Carney. Don't forget to watch Carney Wilson Unwatchable.
Carney Wilson turns 55.
I remember watching Newlywed Game back in the day when she was hosting. I don't think my parents were really fans of me watching that, but hey.
Yeah, I remember it came on. I was like, "Who is this? This isn't." I was like 8 years old, and I was watching it with Carney Wilson. I'm like, "This isn't Bob Eubanks. I'm turning this off."
I will forever associate Bob Eubanks with Card Sharks as opposed to Newlywed Game, and I don't know if I'm in the minority for that.
I think you are because Bob hosted that show for so many decades.
Forever.
I mean, because like I didn't ever watch Eubanks Newlywed Game growing up, but they did have Card Sharks on GSN for a hot minute.
Yes, I do prefer Eubanks over Perry. Not that Perry was bad, but I just think the Eubanks version was more fun to watch than on Card Sharks.
I always liked Eubanks' voice as well. Higher than a deuce. You know, one thing is like how some game shows will have like a version on network TV, and then they'll have a syndicated version on with a different host. Like while Eubanks Card Sharks was on, they also had Bill Rafferty do a syndicated Card Sharks on the same set.
Oh yes.
Yes.
Poor Bill Rafferty.
Best line that came out of Rafferty's Card Sharks. The best line that ever came out of Bill Rafferty's Card Sharks was, "I have a son who would give up his puberty for a car like this."
I never saw that.
Like, do you really want to talk like this for the rest of your life? No.
I thought you were going to say the episode when Bill asked this old dude. We surveyed 100 men, and we asked them, I forget what it was, but it was like, "Do you think Madonna is sexy?" And the guy's like, Madonna, I've never heard of him. Is he a singer?
Oh no.
And Bill's like, well,
Well, there was one question on John O'Hurley Family Feud that just kind of made my blood boil. We
What's
asked
that?
100 men, how often should a woman shave her legs? None of my business?
Yeah. Another one of my favorite Card Sharks Eubanks questions was Bob Eubanks asks this guy, we surveyed 100 single women and asked them, if you were dating a virgin, would you find that appealing? And how many of them said yes? And this guy goes, I think it's a pretty high number. I'm going to say 69. And then the crowd roared.
Oh.
It was 1987, but
I'm retired. Game shows are canceled. Bye. Just only take them all off the air. Yeah, actually, the writer's strike. There's apparently a writer's strike looming, so we might see quite a few game shows coming up.
Oh, awesome.
Ooh.
Like word on the street is like they might want to do more episodes of Password this summer.
Oh, that would be nice. I enjoyed the last Password.
Yeah.
With,
Yeah, I enjoyed this current version of Password.
Yeah, I mean, like Jimmy Fallon, like he's pretty good. He's pretty good at the game. Like I think he does get like a little bit cocky. Like before he even gives his answer, he starts hyping up the crowd, and then he yells it out. And what if you were wrong? What if you got the crowd going crazy for no reason?
Yeah. Well, they don't, and I wonder if they're gonna have Jimmy on every episode because that's what they did on the last season.
I'd imagine they are because when I
it's probably gonna be more of the same. I think.
Because I think the casting call like had a picture of Jimmy Fallon on it. Hold on.
Probably will. I think Jimmy Fallon would make a great host. Not that there's anything wrong with Kiki, but Jimmy would have been a great host.
I mean, he did host half an episode in the community special. Yeah. He and Kiki swapped places.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fun.
Wait. That wasn't even necessarily a community special. I think it was just like Joel McHale, Yvette Nicole Brown, and who else was on that show?
I know which episode that was, but I can't.
It was the last one. Hold on.
Let me look. I think I have it on my website. My game show catalog site. It was Chrissy Metz, Jimmy, Yvette, and Joel McHale.
Okay, yeah, because in my mind it was like, oh yeah, it's a community special, even though only 2 of the people on stage were on Community.
Yeah. Speaking of a little bit, John Michael Higgins was in an episode of Community, and I was like, hey, look, it's John and Joel McHale too, game show hosts. Haha.
Love that.
Yeah.
You know, come to think of it, I haven't actually sat down and properly watched an episode of Joel McHale Card Sharks.
You're not missing much.
I like big money, man.
Yeah, I'd say Alec Baldwin Match Game is probably better.
Baldwin Match Game is better than Joel McHale's Card Sharks. That was.
Oh yeah, I liked Baldwin Match Game. I think a lot of people thought it was canceled because of what happened with Rust.
Yeah, I thought that, but actually no, they canned it like a year before that. But they
already made that decision. They held on to 2 episodes for the longest time. I think like the rest of the show finished airing in like October 2020, but then they saved 2 episodes for like July 2021, which is just like not nice because there are real people on the show who like want to have their time in the sun. They want to see themselves on TV, and they probably didn't get sent their prize money until their episode aired.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of which, there is one episode of Press Your Luck that we've been waiting on for forever because it was supposed to air the day Queen Elizabeth died.
Oh, wow.
Like, I want to believe that the contestant won $1 million, but from what I'm hearing, they did not.
Yeah, I don't think they would have, because I don't think ABC would delay an episode like that if they won $1 million.
I mean, like,
because that for sure would be a big ratings opportunity for them, and ABC wouldn't pass an opportunity like that up.
I mean, like, they would probably just like shuffle the episodes around so that they can air the $1 million win, if there was one. Because, like, I feel like with a major world event like that, like, you've got to. I feel like they did the right thing, like airing programming about the Queen. Like, that I think is more important than like Press Your Luck and all the other game shows at that moment in time.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Just don't tell that to certain game show fans, but
that's the thing. Like, I'll see people getting up in arms over like, oh, Wheel of Fortune is getting preempted because the Eagles are in the Super Bowl or something. I'm gonna sue the network. I'm gonna sue Wheel of Fortune. The world does not revolve around Wheel of Fortune. I hate to break it to you, man.
And there's nothing that Wheel of Fortune can do about that.
And like, if it's preempted locally, like, they're still going to air it. They're just going to air it at a different time.
Yeah, same. I remember when people were complaining about how Jeopardy got preempted on when the Capitol insurrection happened. And they're like, well, can't
why?
do nothing about that.
Like, there are more important things than Jeopardy that night. Sorry.
Yeah.
Remember that one guy who climbed Trump Tower a couple of years ago?
I don't think
so.
Yeah,
I remember hearing about that.
Yeah, so like that was like all my local news channel was talking about because I live in New York. So what they actually had to do was, like, usually they would have local news till 6:30, world news till 7, and then Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune. They just pushed everything back half an hour. So they did Jeopardy at 7:30 and, I don't know, sent Wheel of Fortune to the Shadow Realm.
Interesting.
I don't think they did Wheel that night.
Hey, go ahead.
Yeah. I wouldn't know, though, because, like, that was, like, at a time where, like, I would, like, bash Wheel of Fortune for no good reason. Like, oh, Jeopardy, it's this great, smart show. And then Wheel of Fortune, like, I don't know. I feel like I gave Wheel of Fortune a hard time for a while for no good reason. Like, it's a dumb show, but it's fun.
Yeah. Hey, have you guys heard about the new AI bot on Snapchat?
Oh, yeah, that is, like,
yeah,
straight up lying to people. I saw people asking, like, oh, do you have access to my location? No. Okay, can you tell me where the nearest McDonald's is? Yeah, there are actually 3 right near you.
I talked to it one night. It's like I almost got sucked into it because when I'm talking to it, I like to pretend it's a real person, although it's not. I asked him, hey guy, what's your favorite game show? And he told me my favorite game show is Jeopardy because it's challenging and fun. I also like Family Feud when contestants give dumb answers. How about yours?
Yes. Fantastic. I feel like with like my grandmother has like an Alexa, and whenever she asks it like what the time is, what the temperature is, like she'll thank it when it's done. Yeah. Like, Alexa, what's the time? Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I actually just accidentally activated it. Whoops.
I was worried for a second that you were going to activate mine. I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh, you don't have headphones on, right? My bad.
I don't have an Alexa. I'm old-fashioned.
I've also got like a Google Home like in my room right now. So it's nice. Like I can ask it the weather and stuff. Decide what to wear.
Hey, I know Matt has seen it, but Paige, did you ever see a game show called Camouflage?
Which version?
The GSN version.
Oh yeah, I've seen that a few times. It's Roger Lodge's show.
Well, the other week, after watching one of Matt's videos about the Family Feud SNES exploits, where you can type in a bunch of random phrases and it'll come up just as long as those certain letters are in it,
Yeah, watched that,
I accidentally invented the plot for Camouflage.
Oh yeah, you DM'd me right after that video dropped, and you were like, "Hey, let's we should that could actually make a good game show." I like didn't want to be the bearer of bad news, but sorry, my guy, that show already exists.
Damn.
There is one guy who's in like the comment sections of every YouTube video, like, in the comments of like every video of Camouflage on YouTube, like, I'm going to sue GSN and I'm going to sue YouTube for not bringing back Camouflage and putting all the episodes up on their site. Like, it's not that big a deal, man. Camouflage is a good show, but
like one of them was on Family Feud. It was on the SNES game. It was name an occupation that begins with B. This guy typed in I bathe Keanu Reeves. And it was Baker on the board. Another one, it was these two fellas playing the game, and the question was name something a limousine has that a normal car doesn't. And these guys like, oh, I don't know. I'm gonna try a bathroom, and then the guy types in bathroom, and it comes up ding bar, and his friend is like, what? Oh, that is stupid.
That's incredible.
Fuck.
Like they discovered the exploit on accident. That's awesome.
Yeah, they didn't even they didn't even know it was an exploit, but the guys are like, I'm gonna try a bathroom. Does a limo have a bathroom? Types it in, ding bar.
That never occurred to me as like something that might happen, but like, bar is a pretty short word, so like, it's easy to just like slip that into other words.
Yeah.
But I feel like the stars really aligned just right to what's bathroom on the board, by the way? Do you know?
No, it wasn't. It was just it was like bar. I can't remember the other answers. I'll have to find the clip. But no, bathroom wasn't there.
Man. Like, I honestly, what I want to do is just, like, play Family Feud with a friend, but, like, don't tell them the exploit, and watch as I type in complete nonsense.
Oh man, they would have a meltdown.
I mean, like, Matt, what are you doing? How are you cheating?
Yeah.
People love jumping to cheating on just about everything in the universe. Like one time I was in school and I was messing around with like a Rubik's Cube. And there were a bunch of like fourth graders touring the school or something, and they were like, "No, you're not actually solving it. You're cheating because you're moving two faces at once." No, I'm just doing it fast, man. They're just like, people can be good at things. And, like, that also goes for, like, people who accuse Michael Larson of cheating.
Yeah, this is funny. At my Easter, at the Easter family reunion, we had me and a couple of my cousins got rambling about game shows and, like, people that cheated, and my friend and one of my cousins was like, what about that guy that cheated on Press Your Luck? And I'm like, no, he didn't cheat. And my 10-year-old cousin, he's like, well, what did he do? And I'm like, well, in terms of like video games, he exploited. And he's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, like he noticed the pattern and he took advantage. Done.
Yeah.
But every video about game show cheaters brings them up, and that's like that grinds my gears. That really that's why I made that video about people who didn't cheat on game shows. Yeah. One thing I do very much appreciate is the YouTube algorithm recommending my video on other videos about game show cheaters. Like, wait a minute, no, they're not.
Yeah, but even if he didn't cheat, Michael just his life kind of went downhill from there, because after the especially like he lost half the money in a robbery, and then was on the run from the tax auditors or whatever the fuck, and then he died of throat cancer in 1999.
And then they did the documentary, and then the episode of Whammy, and his brother came on, and he still won.
Yeah, I you know what? The episode of Whammy and the documentary was totally contrast to each other, because in the documentary they made Michael look like some creepy ass dude, you know. But then in Whammy they're like, no, let's pay tribute to Michael. Okay, let's play it. Top.
I will say though that in the documentary, Jamie kind of came off as entitled. Like, she was like,
Oh,
no,
yeah.
I deserve to win.
Okay, I was supposed to be the winner, and then
This is my time to be the star.
Yeah, I felt more bad for Ed because he said that
like
Michael asked
Ed's
him.
my guy.
Everyone's your guy.
Ed is the most relatable, I think, out of any of them.
Ed's the man.
Because he's like, well, Michael Larson asked me, how many times have you seen the show? And I said once, and he looked at me like, are you from another planet?
Like, honestly, like, on one hand, I don't blame him for, like, coming on despite barely having seen the show, but, like, I wouldn't personally do that. Because, like, I want to know what the rules are. I don't want to embarrass myself on national TV. So, like, if I see the new game shows coming on, I'm probably going to wait till season 2 to try to sign up. To try and apply.
Yeah.
Like, if they were to like revive Sale of the Century or something, like, I wouldn't be opposed to being on season 1. But if it was like a brand spanking new game show, sure, why not? Like, people, like, I feel like game show fans give Price is Right contestants kind of a hard time for no reason. But, like, a lot of people there are probably just like, hey, it's something fun to do. I may as well try and win, like, a new car or whatever. Like, they're not going on the show like, okay, I know all of the games, I know all the rules, I know all the unwritten rules, I am ready to win $1 zillion.
I was about to say, that's not how Price is Right casting works.
Yeah, like, it's just like you buy tickets, you might get called on down. Like, not everybody in the audience is going to be a Price is Right expert, because like
oh, no.
game shows are like not something that everybody wants to really delve deep into. Like, not everybody's going to know the 0 rule on 10 chances. Not everybody's going to know not to bid $1 from the second position. There was one contestant. I went and found the episode after I was born. Somebody bid $1 when they were the first contestant up. Like, you were assuming that everybody after you was going to bid over. You're not a psychic. Sorry.
Yeah, that's interesting. What about those guys that go on there and just say 420 every time?
Oh my god! There was one guy who was like,
"He'll be that guy." Yeah, there was a guy, and there was a girl who did it too.
Yeah, there was one guy, like, all of his bids ended in 69, except for one that he bid $2 million.
$2 million.
What?
Like, get lost, man.
Yeah, there was this guy. There was the guy. His name was Joseph, and I think this was in Drew's. I want to say this was in Drew's first season. I want to say this was in Drew's first season. Let me check it real quick. It was either in Drew's first or second season.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I never saw this one. I remember the guy on Bob Barker's might have been last season. He bid like $250,000 in the showcase.
Yeah, that was Jose. He bid $250,000. Bob was like, "You want to try that again?" And then he said $60,000.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I just found the episode. Yeah, the guy's name was Joseph.
Yeah.
And he was also the guy who bid 69 on everything else.
Send me that episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he starts off by bidding 420, then he goes to 777, then it's 1869, then it's 769. Then somebody else bids 1869.
Like,
let's follow
then he bids 969.
My God.
My guy thought it was real clever. I'm linking the video in the group chat on Discord.
Awesome.
There we are.
I never saw it.
Yeah, because this episode actually got marked not for reruns.
Wow.
Good.
I'm trying to find the full episode where Terry Nice got the perfect bid.
Is that full episode floating around?
I don't know. I know the clip of him doing it.
Wait.
But it was like December 2008. That's all.
Yeah, hold on.
I don't know.
Let's see. All right, I'm not gonna have any luck finding that right now.
That's okay.
Because I mean, like, when I did my video about Ted Slauson, Terry Neese, all of those guys, like, all the footage I needed was in the documentary. So
Yes.
Oh, I was gonna say that's all you need. Yeah.
oh, did you guys see that Terry Neese was on Tell Us About Yourself, that podcast?
I heard about that.
I heard about that.
Too.
Okay, so Terry was on it, and then Ted Slauson posts on Facebook, well, this should be interesting. And it's looking like there's going to be a Ted Slauson episode pretty soon as well.
Yeah. I'm surprised that I wonder what hoops Christian Carrion had to jump through in order to find Terry Neese, because Terry Neese hasn't said shit about the thing. I know he wrote like a little book, I think. But Ted Slauson has had a lot more of the media attention and interviews about it after the fact than Terry did. So I'm surprised that Terry agreed to do it.
I mean, like, I feel like in general, people tend to talk more about Terry just because he was the guy on stage. He was the one who actually said the bit into the freaking microphone.
Mm-hmm.
So then, like, he's the guy that people point to and say, he cheated!
Yeah.
No, he didn't.
He
didn't.
No, he didn't. He didn't cheat.
I just noticed in your Discord, by the way, that you said, "Don't worry, we're not talking to Mike Richards." That's what you think.
I couldn't find a good picture, so I'm just like, yeah, put picture of Mike Richards.
What if I'm actually Mike Richards in a trench coat? Then what?
Yeah, I don't know why I did that. But anyways. Hey guys, you know what it's time for? This is the segment where we do jokes. So we're gonna take turns. I'm gonna put each joke in the private chat, and I'll have a Paige. Why don't you go first? Okay.
So we're doing jokes now.
Yeah. This is a new edition. Okay. Okay, it's going in the private chat now.
Okay. This story is actually too real, but I had to break up with my girlfriend, because she was a communist, but I should have been warned like a long time ago, because I did see a lot of red flags, and that was just a big warning sign for me.
Red flags.
Oh man.
Okay, Matt, you read this one.
I sexually identify as a microwave dinner. I'm done in 5 minutes and look nothing like the picture.
Oh,
that hurts me inside because I'm asexual.
Oh. Oh, you'll like this joke. Hey,
cut the tapes, we're canceled.
Have you guys heard of this No Nut November, where you're not supposed to eat peanuts for a whole month? I think that's what it is. Anyway, I think there should be a No Noise November where everyone just shuts the hell up.
I mean,
I would be on board for that.
So, I was born in November, so sorry, not an option.
Okay.
Oh yeah, well, me and Danny, we're both June babies, so we can get away with that.
Yeah. Here, Paige, you'll love this one.
Tucker Carlson has been fired from the Fox News channel, causing 14 people to have nothing to watch on TV.
Oh man.
Poor Tucker Carlson. Actually, no, I don't give a shit about Tucker Carlson.
Apparently, Fox News' ratings have actually gone down quite a bit in the last however long it's been.
That makes sense because Tucker was their guy.
Yeah.
Tucker was their guy, and now people are like, no, I don't like this channel anymore. But they'll probably be back.
They probably all went to watch Split Second on the game.
They probably all went to watch Split Second to watch John Michael Higgins and his absolutely massive tablet.
Yeah. Here. Okay, Matt, this one's topical for you.
A former Family Feud contestant recently was arrested after killing his estranged wife. Survey says death.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
All right. Hey, did you guys hear that Drake from Drake and Josh went missing?
Oh yeah, I did hear about that. I did hear about
But
that.
he's been found safe after being reported missing and endangered for about 24 hours. It turns out it was all his sister Megan's fault. Megan. I guess you have to watch Drake and Josh in order to get that.
I didn't grow up watching Drake and Josh. Sorry.
But I was about to say, you should have said, it turns out he found a way.
Oh man.
Good. The other line I was going to use was, it turns out he was stuck in a treehouse after they lost the power saw. That's another Drake and Josh meme, that go get the power saw thing.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. Oh, okay. Let's see. Just a few more. Okay. Okay, Paige, you'll like this one.
Oh God. In the beginning, God created heaven and earth. Everything else was made in China.
Yeah.
There you go.
Hey yo. Okay. Read that one.
If life gives you lemons, you gotta make lemonade. If life gives you melons, you might be dyslexic.
Yeah.
I was like trying to like lean into my microphone over to my left, but also like look at the screen over to my right. That's gotta be like.
Yeah.
I must have looked like so awkward just now.
Hey, we all know that the politics has changed a lot over the last 20 years, you know?
Very true.
Especially over the last 100 years, you know? And I think Abraham Lincoln, he was like the first Republican, wasn't he? He was one of the first, I know.
He was one of the first, yeah.
He was one of the first. But I think Abraham Lincoln could never call himself a Republican today. Well, mainly because he was shot in a theater in 1865.
True.
Hey,
So true.
That is true.
I mean, there also is some truth to that because over time, like the Republican and Democratic parties kind of like swapped platforms.
That's right. Yeah.
Mel Brooks is 96. That's pretty old. His parents are even older than him.
You know what that reminds me of? That you guys ever watch Phineas and Ferb growing up?
A little bit.
I've watched a few.
Yeah, so like there was this one episode where Doofenshmirtz was like giving his backstory, and like both of my parents failed to show up for my birth.
He had to do it himself.
And I'm just like, sure, I'll buy that. That's definitely physically possible, right?
Yeah.
Because I was like, a recent study reports that 9 out of 10 Americans believe that out of 10 people, 1 American will always disagree with the other 9.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna leave my head spinning for the next 38 weeks.
Hey, did you hear that the good old President Joe Biden? He just had a meeting with the cabinet. That went well, and now he's talking with the couch.
I always found it weird, like having something like that called the cabinet, because like, yeah, I'm just gonna think of furniture. Sorry.
Yeah.
Like you couldn't have come up with a better name for that.
Well, it looks like Biden is rerunning.
He is. He is, isn't he? He's gonna be 1,000 years old by the time he's done.
I don't want to say anything. I don't want to jinx it. You know, I'm just like, well, Joe, best of luck.
We're not gonna get too political here, but
we're not gonna get too political, but like, best of luck, Joe. And that's all I got. That's all I have to say.
Sure. Okay. Paige, you do this one, and then I'll do the last joke.
All right. I only have 2 weaknesses: being vague and some other weakness.
So true.
Okay, here's the last joke. A Walgreens manager in Tennessee was arrested after allegedly shooting a pregnant shoplifter. And when asked by police what happened, the manager said, "But she just wanted her shots."
Ah.
Alright, well, I think that's the end of the show. Let's give a nice round of applause for Matt Pinnock, everybody. Yeah.
There we are.
Yeah, we
All
should have
right.
you on another one. I think we just barely scratched the surface with you.
Oh
here,
man, I had a great time. This was nice.
Yeah, we gotta book you for future content.
Oh, absolutely, I'd be down.
Okay, well, I'm Daniel Lewis, and you can say your outro yourself now. You can say your outro yourself now.
Oh well, I guess since that's it, Lewis, he's Danny. I'm P1. Yeah.
All right, good night, fellas. Sleep well.
Thanks for watching, everyone. See you next time.
Take care.